Winter 2026 is absolutely stacked. And before we dive into anything else, I just want to wish every single one of you a very happy new year. I hope 2026 brings you good health, big wins, and of course, an unreasonable amount of great anime to watch. Because honestly, we're starting this year on an absurdly high note. Winter seasons are usually strong, but this one feels different. With more than 57 anime airing, we're seeing multiple top-tier franchises returning at the same time, something that rarely happens in a single cour. And let's be honest, none of us have enough free time to watch everything. So instead of overwhelming you with the full list, I've narrowed it down to the shows you absolutely need to keep an eye on this winter. Let's start with the heart of the season, Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Season 2. The first season quietly became a modern classic, not by relying on explosive action, but by slowing everything down and letting emotion do the heavy lifting. Frieren's journey after the end of the hero's story reminded us that time, memory, and regret can be just as powerful as any final boss. Season 2 looks ready to continue that exact feeling. Frieren, Fern, and Stark are back. Familiar faces return, and new characters are waiting in the wings. From the trailers alone, it's clear that this season will lean heavily into the idea of learning about magic, about people, and about what it truly means to live in the moment. And yes, if we're lucky, maybe Frieren will finally learn to stop opening suspicious treasure chests. On the complete opposite end of the emotional spectrum sits Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, which is shaping up to be one of the most intense anime releases of the year. After everything that went down previously, the world of Jujutsu is in complete disarray. With Satoru Gojo sealed away, the burden of humanity's survival falls onto the next generation. The tension is immediate, the stakes are brutal, and nothing feels safe anymore. Before Yuji Itadori can even begin to move forward, he's forced into a confrontation with Yuta Okatsu, a sorcerer who stands at the very top among Gojo's students. This season feels like a turning point, where hesitation is no longer an option and every decision has consequences. If you haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen 0 yet, consider this your final warning. Then there's Oshi no Ko Season 3, which might be the most fascinating tonal shift of the season. Up until now, the story has largely followed Aqua's descent into obsession as he searched for the truth behind his mother's murder. This time, however, the spotlight shifts toward Ruby. The cheerful idol we once knew is starting to reveal a much sharper edge. The entertainment industry remains just as cruel and manipulative as ever. But Ruby is no longer a passive dreamer caught in its gears. She has a plan, and she's ready to do whatever it takes to rise, even if it means abandoning fairness along the way. Season 3 feels like the calm smile before the storm. For those looking to slow things down and breathe a little, In the Clear Moonlit Dusk might be the winter romance everyone didn't know they needed. This series delivers a soft, emotionally grounded high school love story built around identity, perception, and genuine connection. Yoi Takaguchi, known as the prince of her school due to her boyish appearance, lives her life misunderstood by nearly everyone around her. That begins to change when she meets Kohaku Ichimura, someone who doesn't project expectations onto her, but instead sees her as she truly is. With elegant visuals and a quiet focus on emotional nuance, this is the kind of romance that lingers long after the episode ends. Another deeply emotional entry this season is Ikoku Nikki. At its core, this is a story about grief, family, and the uncomfortable process of healing. When novelist Makio Kodai becomes the guardian of her teenage niece after a tragic accident, the two are forced to live together despite barely knowing each other. Their shared loss becomes the bridge that slowly brings them closer. The series doesn't rely on dramatic exaggeration. Instead, it lets silence, distance, and small gestures speak volumes. If you want to start the year reflecting on relationships and the people we often take for granted, this one deserves a spot on your list. Of course, winter 2026 wouldn't be complete without blood, mystery, and existential dread. And that's where Hell's Paradise Season 2 steps in. The first season introduced one of the most unique settings in recent shonen anime, blending Edo-era Japan with grotesque supernatural horror. Now, with most of the original cast gone, a new group arrives on the island of Shinsenkyo, each with their own motives. As Gabimaru continues to fight both the island's horrors and his own internal struggle, the mysteries of Paradise begin to unravel. This season feels less like a survival story and more like a confrontation with the meaning of life itself. Then there's Sentenced to be a Hero, one of the most intriguing new fantasy series of the season. In this world, heroism isn't a badge of honor. It's a punishment. Those labeled as heroes are forced into endless battles against demon lords, resurrected again and again with no escape. Xylo Forbarts finds himself trapped in this cycle after being accused of an unthinkable crime, only to discover a possible way out through a dangerous pact with a goddess. With striking animation, dark themes, and a director known for working on major titles like One Piece and Chainsaw Man, this show has all the ingredients to become a breakout hit. The only film on this list, Cosmic Princess Kaguya, offers something completely different. Inspired by one of Japan's oldest folktales, this Netflix original reimagines Princess Kaguya in a modern setting, pairing her with a high school girl from present-day Japan. The visuals are luminous, the atmosphere feels dreamlike, and the soundtrack, created by multiple renowned Vocaloid producers, gives the story a uniquely modern pulse. It's a beautiful blend of tradition and innovation, and easily one of the most artistically ambitious projects of the season. For longtime anime fans, Fate's Strange Fake is finally here in full. This spin-off entry in the Fate franchise brings a twisted version of the Holy Grail War to American soil, filled with irregular rules, strange servants, and moral ambiguity. Produced by A1 Pictures, this series has clearly been given time to breathe, and everything about it, from the staff involved to the scale of the action, suggests it's meant to stand alongside the franchise's best entries. Whether you're a Fate veteran or a newcomer, this is one to keep your eyes on. And finally, we reach the end of an era with Fire Force Season 3 Part 2. This cour marks the beginning of the end for Shinra Kusakabe's journey, adapting the final stretch of the manga. With only a handful of arcs left, the pressure is on to deliver a satisfying conclusion. The Asakusa Showdown arc puts Tokyo's fate on the line, with Benimaru stepping into the spotlight. Love it or criticize it, Fire Force has been one of the defining modern shonen series, and winter 2026 is where its story starts to close. Add My Hero Academia, Vigilantes, Season 2 into the mix, and it's clear this season isn't slowing down for anyone. With heroes, anti-heroes, vigilantes, idols, mages, sorcerers, and doomed warriors all sharing the same 3-month window, winter 2026 feels almost unreal. So once again, Happy New Year. Clear your schedules, make your watch lists, and get ready. So that's the winter 2026 anime season. Absolutely stacked from top to bottom. Now I want to hear from you. Which anime are you most excited to watch this season? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. It really helps the channel. Subscribe as well, because there's a lot more content coming this year, from seasonal breakdowns to news, discussions, and deep dives into the biggest anime moments of 2026. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.